There I am. Dang, what would I do without my best friend, Art and Times of Jay Ryan? Yeah, I had it muted. I was going through virtual cam on Phil's stream yesterday and had to put the mic on direct because going through StreamYard. For whatever reason, it won't pick up the sound going through OBS. StreamYard won't. It won't do like a virtual OBS mic. So, whatever. But yeah, thanks for letting me know that. Anyway, as I was saying, do you ever get on and do any streams? Who the hell is Irwin Allen? Steve Irwin's brother? He died in a time travel accident. His brother died by a fish. He got walloped by a fish. What's up, J Dub? Doing some sound effects. So I'm going to go over all the lessons I taught while I had my mic muted. I discovered that when lettering, it looks better to do the lettering all puffy and fat. Anytime the lettering gets a little skinny looking, it looks stupid. So we like them big old puffed up lettering gals. We're chubby letter chasers, right? Uh, yeah, Nick called me this morning, wanting to know if I wanted to stream again. And he said he watched my Kim Jong Gi video. And I was like, dude, that damn thing is getting me so many subscribers. I went from like 40 subscribers to, I don't know, like 180 now, I think he said. I didn't, he looked while he was on the phone with me. That video has like fucking 6,000 views. Jung Ji is popular. I should just do all Kim Jong Gi style videos. I'll make up some shit, say that I went to one of his workshops and he taught me. He told me the secret behind the scenes. But yeah, makes me want to do more streaming. Art-based streams. Not talking about wiping my butthole that it devolved into Monday. Oh, we got Joe Ball in here. You got any interest in streaming today, Joe? You want to hop in? Everybody's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm going through Skype. Can you call me on Skype? Then everybody's like, nah, fuck you. So yeah, I'm gonna be a Kim Jong Gi dedicated drawing channel. I'm gonna get fucking huge, bro. What if I got bigger than Kim Jong Gi himself? That'd be wild. But that morning I got on and I was gonna do a Mark Silvestri style video. And Kim Jong Gi had done died. So I thought I'd honor my fallen art brother. He boosted my YouTube channel as a thank you. So force him out for Kim Jong Gi. So what do you got? You guys lose all your money in FTX going under? You guys have a lot of crypto invested? I like how that dweeb has everybody talking about altruism now. Just know this, people. You you guys are included in this. People want to be scammed. They want it. Should I hold it like should I hold my pencil like Eric Larson? Like a fucking kindergartner foster kid? When I see Eric Larson holding his pencil, I think that he was not loved by his parents. Like to see how he holds a fork and a spoon. But that's something else. Just some shifty eyes, bro. Starts looking like a murderer. Yeah, your money's in the backyard. Me too, brother. I've been buying that silver. Uh-oh. Yeah, Tradmore holds his like this, and he's got like a John Fetterman style Gorder on his ring finger. Uh-oh, whoa, whoa. Hey, nobody sent me messages right now. I got the camera on my tablet. See you guys talking jeez. See you guys talking shit about other people on here. Joe, go in the chat and tell whoever to not send any more juicy gossip. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah. Shane Davis holds his pen. Yeah, I hadn't. Hang on, I gotta take care of some business. There we go. Oh yeah. Let me have a look here. I don't want to get caught up in any drama. I like all my drama behind the scenes. There we go. We'll put it right there, bro. That's the halo effect. Hmm. Tread. I don't know what the fuck he's doing now, art wise. He lost me with that Silver Surfer stuff because he's clearly descending into madness. But the Ghost Rider stuff and the Luther Strode stuff is incredible. And he does it all. He inks it all with a brush, supposedly, right? So if you look at the Ghost Rider stuff he did, they're in a music store and there's like guitar and what you call it, keyboard in the background. There is no way he inked that shit with a brush. There's no way. And if he did, he's even more messed up than I thought he was. You can't be going and inking that fine a line with a brush and not be completely messed up, ready to kill somebody. So, Bradmore likely murderer, but he draws pretty cool. Oh, where was I? Yeah, sound effects. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but comic book people, they like to gossip. And I like to tell myself I don't like to gossip, but I think I kind of like to gossip, guys. I don't want to. My wife has a fucking superpower to not gossip. It's insane. I don't know how she does it. She actually got fired from her previous job because she wouldn't gossip. She didn't hang out with the hens, talk shit on everybody. So they viewed her as a untrust because she didn't gossip. She was untrustworthy. Yeah, because whenever I'm penciling, dude, I hold it one way, but yeah, I got like I can do finger, side, all that. Get the elbow and wrist and stuff involved. Like I feel like you definitely would lose some dexterity. It reminds me, I was playing basketball up at the gym one time. This fucking dude came in, and he was like a skinnier dude. I'm a big old boy. I'm a hoss, and he is shorter than me. I'm like I'm almost 6'1", and with my dominating mental presence, everyone thinks I'm like 6'2" to 6'8". But anyway, this little shrimp came in. And he was running up, uh, jumping, touching the rim. It's any semi-athletic white dude loves to show that they can touch the rim. Trust me. And I can't hate, bro. If I could touch the rim, I'd probably be running in the gym and touching it all the time. And I swear this is going to tie back into holding a pencil. And me and my buddy were shooting around. We were looking at each other just like, oh god, one of these fucking dudes. And he's like, you guys want to play? I'm like, yeah, sure. So we start playing, and I'm going like half power because the kid's got this. Look, the kid has a lockdown defense when he wants. Okay, I'm just saying. And the kid drove by me and did a layup left-handed. He goes, "Yeah, I'm ambidextrous." And at that point, I'm done with him. Right? I'm like, "Oh man, is that where you can like breathe underwater too?" Crushed him, bro. Well, my buddy thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. But he, like me, kept a straight face. And the kid just looked at me like, "What? What are you talking about?" And the moral of the story is this dude could touch the rim, but he didn't know what amphibious meant enough to get the fucking joke that I smashed him over the head with. Yeah, dude adds 4 to 5 inches all day, all day. My sense of humor is along the lines of Norm Macdonald. I'd rather everything be a joke, and if you don't think it is, it's definitely a joke, and the joke is most likely on you. And I swear, dude, like my old account, I had a gang of people following me that had been around long enough to get my sense of humor, so they would like feed into it. I like setting people up to just tee off on me. I like saying stupid shit as a setup for somebody to attack me. Like let's mix it up. And I think I lay in the weeds too much here in Comicsgate. But if you go through my feed, I say some really stupid shit on purpose, trying to tee it up for you guys. Only Gordon Goodbrother shows up. to fucking play ball with me, if you know what I mean. So I enjoy being the butt of the joke. I enjoy being attacked. Let's fucking get out there and mix it up some more, please. Don't ever worry about hurting the kids' feelings, okay? That's all I'm telling you. You fucking show up and attack. Yeah, and since the election's over, I'm definitely done with the political shit. Jesus. That's my soaps. Watching them soaps. I'm too into it, bros. Too invested. So from here until at least summer of 2024, I think I'm done with the political shit. So let's get out there and mix it up. Have some fun. Make some jokes. I guess I'll start watching TV, some TV shows. Like all my downtime is dedicated to watching politics like a fucking idiot. So I'm just now getting caught up on Stranger Things. I think I'll start House of the Dragon next. Is the first season of House of the Dragon over? Yeah, man, I'm gonna play the dumb guy. Let's give old Nick another try. If he wants to come in hot like he did last time, preaching to us. Nope. Man, how beat is that guy? So yeah, since that Kim Jong Ji got so many hits, it's got me fired up to do some art streams. So I think I'm definitely gonna revisit and do the Mark Silvestri style because I've been looking at that book over and over and over and over, kind of addicted to it. I might be addicted, bros, but I could definitely pull off what he's doing. Like I want to be sketchier than I am now, but John likes that shit crisp. And what John wants, John gets, because that's what he's paying for. But I could definitely fill up a sketchbook doing some scritchy, scratchy Sylvester stuff. And everybody's just calling it Bernie Wrightson, but yeah, I mean, I get it, but he's not really doing Wrightson at all. He's doing John Buscema inked by. Joe's threatening to send dick pics. You guys believe that? We'll see. Show me what you got, Joe. I'll send a photo of my little egg roll over there to you. Got some hot mustard, a little soy sauce. Get to work, my friend. Get to work. Hey, Phil. You at work, Phil? Where's I at? Anyway, yeah. So Mark Silvestri's doing Buscema with Alfredo Alcala. I think that's how you say his name. The Filipino dude that was real popular in the 70s. He inks some Barry Windsor Smith too. And if you look at it, you'd be like, oh, okay, comic guy. I stand corrected, comic guy. I remember the Wildstorm or his Homage Studios, like Zero issue. They had a lot of sketches and stuff from the dudes back in the day. And there was some Silvestri Cyberforce sketches in there. And I remember at the time liking it more than his finished stuff that was inked by Scott Williams, who's incredible. But I don't know, this had something a little extra to it that I liked. And lo and behold, Sylvester's out here reaching his peak, inking himself. If he had only listened to 16-year-old me, he would have ended up being one of the all-time greats. Yeah, Joe said he's going to send me a dick pic. He wants me to sing that uh, R. Kelly song, Crunch, 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 Crunch. Munch, 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 munch. Sex in the Kitchen, I think that's the name of it. R. Kelly, man, what happened to that dude? He went off the deep end, huh? It's so crazy how all these weirdo celebrities, all this shit is known. Like Dave Chappelle does a skit about this shit, you know, a decade and a half before he faced any legal ramifications from any of it. That Ray Donovan show with the Fixer and all that, and like all this shit coming out with Kanye, where he's talking about handlers and whatnot. All that stuff is real, bro. That's as real as it gets. It's crazy. Bunch of damn degenerates. Chappelle hoodwinked Saturday Night Live. Give him a fake monologue. Somebody pointed out he wrote twice the jokes just to be able to break through the matrix and do the jokes he wanted live on air. He definitely has fuck you money, so he's living by his own rules. Man, one mention of R. Kelly, and here come the bots. What How has YouTube is part of Google, which is like the biggest tech company in the world. How have they not solved this issue? My theory is they're in on it. Google runs the sexbot channel stuff, preying on all the coomers out there, tricking all the coomers. You don't even gotta trick the coomers, bro. They're just so horny they click it no matter what. I know it's a scam, but I'm just kind of horny right now. Yeah, definitely. It's like almost all computer scams now are Indians. Well, what happened over the last 15 years in tech? They farmed out all their online or the call center help anytime you call for tech support. All that stuff's over in India. So they got all the they know all the back doors. So lo and behold, you have them doing all the scams now. And also, why don't we get more leaks and hacks for big banks and shit like that? So they can supposedly hack these electric grids and hold them for ransom. But somehow the banks in Wall Street, they never get hacked. Never get hacked. Why that is? See, I'm supposed to be talking about drawing right now. Why you guys get me going on this shit? So if you look at the pattern of political donations, there's a list that came out earlier of all the ones, like Weinstein, Bernie Madoff, of course now this FTX, Bankman Fried guy. It seems like just get a list of the top donors and just start going down rabbit holes, and you'll uncover shit years ahead of anybody else if you want to make your name in the news. If I had the time, I would do that. I'd go bring the house down. But I'm busy drawing pages. See, it's the good guys like me that could really be out there putting it into it. Instead, I got all my dedication, all my skill, all my focus, all my willpower into comic book pages. As it should be, I guess, my brothers. Really thinking a lot about doing my book again. See what goes on next year. I think next year definitely going to be a big year for me. Uh, Graveyard Shift, back it if you haven't. We're up to like 92,000 now. Closeout stream will bring in, another decent amount. Was really hoping to hit the 150 again, but my name ain't got no power out there right now. But it will. People like the brand. They're gonna like this book. Then we'll see what's up. And anytime John decides that he's gonna draw a book, all those type numbers will immediately jump back up because people are hot and heavy for his art. So it's not like he's doing bad. I mean, if you think about it, he just has his name on this book. He wrote the story, but he's not drawing it. So it's just his name carrying this to what's gonna, it's definitely gonna end up over 100,000. So if you think about it, that's pretty crazy success with just a name. I mean, yeah, he did a cover, but cover's a cover. That'll move a few books. But by and large, $100,000 just putting his name at the top of the marquee. Definitely still power player. Don't let the haters out there try to tell you otherwise. You hear me? But yeah, hopefully next year we're gonna have an even better year. The kid's definitely gonna be streaming more. Jay Ryan says they pay a lot for his they pay a lot for cybersecurity. My nephew spent 4 months in Sweden after he got out of the military doing cybersecurity for a bank. They pay very well. Yeah, but you can pay well all day. The fact that you look at how many bank accounts are out there, those are all entry points for hacking, right? So, and still to this day, the number one security threat for hacking is just social engineering, duping people into giving them their login info. I mean, you could just simply run a website kind of called like US Bank Tech Support or whatever. And it could be a completely fraudulent one, but if enough dumbasses click on it, you can fish out their information that way. It just, I don't know. I feel like bank hacking and larger like home base hacking, right? Not just end users. I just feel like it should be more than what it is. I It just makes me think most of the hackers are on the payroll of these banks and governments, which would tell you if you really think about it, you know, most everybody's good guys except for the big guys. Remember that dude that hacked the CIA? Yeah, I'm asking, where's the fucking chaos, dude? So I know that the bigger institutions, there's a lot of stuff that didn't release to the public, right? So of course, like Amazon, they have the military contracts, and I've read enough to know what they have AI wise that there was a company called P-Tech, and if you look up the Corbett Report P-Tech, there's a podcast he did back around 2011 that goes over all this. There are like two or three software vectors that a lot of these places use, where the software it's AI based and it's so smart that as it spots what would be a hacker. So right, it's looking at pattern recognition. And if it has an exploit, the software is smart enough to rewrite itself on the fly to stop the exploit. How crazy is that? Shout out James Corbett. But yeah, that if you're into the conspiracy type stuff, his whole podcast on P Tech is incredible. It ties in with the smart meters and all that stuff. Like these dudes want full spectrum dominance. They don't want they want you to bend to their whim at every point, every act, everything you do. They want it all to be permission based. Or you know what? I mean, like you say, a lot of the companies hire the hackers, right? Like that's what they did with Kevin Mitnick. Once he went to prison and got out, he became a trainer, so to speak, for companies, teaching them how to avoid getting hacked. But his was all social engineering based. His book is really good, by the way. It's all about that. It's just, how you make multiple phone calls to work your way up the hierarchy of getting to talk to management. And then, like, once you find out who's in charge of what, then you can call and be like, so and so did this. He called me. I'm supposed to be fixing this. I need you to let me in. I need you to give me the account of so and so. So after 4 or 5 calls, you have enough information. You have the company lingo down that you can call and talk like them and talk like you're in the know, and people will readily fork over the info. I think I want to raise that up some. No, never mind. And to go another step further, right, since we're talking about hacking and security and all that stuff, do you remember the story from, I mean, we can go to the, when we left Afghanistan last year, but we don't even have to use that one, right? We can go back to, I think it was 2010. ISIS or the Taliban stole like 40 Humvees. How the fuck can I have OnStar and use that if somebody steals my vehicle to shut it down while they're driving on the freeway? But our government doesn't put an OnStar type security device in the Humvees. Like, are they fucking that stupid? I don't think so. Obviously, it's all about weapons contracts. Oh, I guess we gotta buy more Humvees. Anyway, shit like that bothers me. Just common sense stuff. Hey guys, remember the good old days when we were talking about how Treadmore held his pencil? There was this kid in school, Alan Pinkston was his name, and he was super nerdy. And I remember his first day at school. Uh, this other kid in class, he's like, "Yeah, that's my cousin. It's Alan Pinkston." I was like, "Man, what's his deal? He looks kind of weird and stupid." He's like, "Nah, he's normal. He's pretty cool. I like him." Well, he was not cool. He was a mega nerd and really, really weird. So later that day, we're eating in the lunchroom, and it's like a pizza pocket day, and he's eating a pizza pocket, and grease is like running all the way down to his elbows. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, I don't think I like this. Like this is middle school, by the way. Yeah, I don't think I like this. Kind of dweeb lets grease run down to their elbows. Fast forward to an hour and a half later, it's time for PE. This is his first day in PE class. And he didn't have any tennis shoes on because it was his first day. He wore these dress shoes, and at the time, like the popular dress shoe, they were called Dexters. They were leather on top with like this. The sole of them was this weird plastic that would scuff off on the gym floor. So the gym teachers were like, "No, no, 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 no! You can't be wearing those on the gym floor. We pay a lot of money to clean the gym floor. You can't be wearing those." So he had to take his shoes off for gym class. And we were playing dodgeball that day, and he had on socks, so he was running around trying to play dodgeball on socks. And this is seventh grade. And in seventh grade, this dude is like 6'4", 300 pounds, right? But he was such a clumsy ogre that there was no fear from him being that big. Well, I alluded to it earlier, but the kid's an athlete, right? I'm an athlete, and I grabbed the biggest dodgeball, and they didn't put enough air in them, so I could grab this dodgeball and like pinch that fucking thing like that. And dude, I could whistle that fucking thing so hard. And I queued it up, bro, and I hit Big Boy right in the head. And because he had on socks, his feet went straight out from under him. So it was like whack, boing, and then whack. His big ass hit the ground. Thoroughly dominated, bro. Gordon Goodbrother says that he had a burrito slurping freak in middle school. You would literally open the wrapper at the top and suck the burrito filling out like a soft candy. Um, that same year in gym class, we were playing dodgeball again, and this black girl in there, Muriel Willis, was standing there talking to one of her friends, and I just said, you know what? I think I'm gonna break her off a little something, something. Same thing. Pinched that fucking dodgeball as hard as I could, whistled it, whack, and it hit her in the head, and it like jacked her glasses sideways. And I was like, damn, dude, I blasted her. I was congratulating myself, right? And she turned around. She says, "Who did it?" And I was like, "I did." She's like, "You motherfucker!" And she took off running after me, bro. If you're caught off guard by something like that, it'll scare the shit out of you. Like if you're walking down the street and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you got like this little fucking chihuahua coming up after you barking like he's gonna kill you, it'll make the hair on your neck stand up, right? So I'm just like, oh shit. And the bleachers were all pushed up against the wall, right? So it's just like a flat sheet. So the bottom bleacher is out. You got one thing to sit on. Then you got to scale it, and then at the top of the bleachers is a seat you can sit on. I hit the bottom bleacher and I leaped and I grabbed the top bleacher and I'm pulling myself up. And she finally gets over there to me. She's like, dude, she clawed my legs up, bro. My legs are all like bloody and shit because I whacked her upside the head with a dodgeball. And Coach Markham, he had to come over there and pull her off of me. And he had a pretty hard time pulling her back, dude. She was rabid. She was out for blood, bro. The kid would have been a goner if gym teacher hadn't showed up. As he was dragging her away, though, he was laughing his ass off. He thought it was hilarious. Mainly laughing at me for being uh, a chicken shit. But woman was crazy, bro. Wasn't ready for that. Yeah, one solid whack upside the head with a dodgeball was her limit. I mean, who knew? You know, I thought she'd be a good sport about getting clobbered upside the fucking head, but I was wrong. Yeah, my school was crazy, dude. Everybody was always fighting everybody, and the from eighth grade going into ninth grade, we went from 187 fights in one school year down to 10 because they finally decided they were going to start putting kids in jail for a day. So if you got in a fight, you didn't just go to the office. The cops would come. They'd come arrest you and do it. You'd have to do the perp walk out to the car and get suspended for like half a year. So you'd be in school. Look, I've been standing and drawing. It's trying to tell me that I've been sitting too long. These fucking smartwatches are stupid. Nah, bro. When you look crazy in the eye, look. I could have easily walked up and smacked her right in the head and knocked her out, right? Like there are a lot of people that you could probably whoop their ass, but that's just gonna make them crazier. And whenever she came at me, bro, that was crazy. I looked crazy dead in the eyes, and I didn't want none. I said nope. So I hit the eject button. My brother's one of those crazies. Like he was like got in a big fight with my parents for no reason, and it pissed me off. So I go over to like confront him about it, right? Like I'm old enough now. He's like 7 years older than me. I'm old enough now. I'm a big badass. I'm gonna go straighten him out, right? I get over there. I'm like, dude, what is the deal? Why are you going over there cursing mom and dad out like that? Man, he's like, look at what all I got. This is all mine. And I'm just like, what? And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, why did you go over there and curse them out? And he's like, you want some? And he jumps up and he rips his shirt off like fucking Hulk Hogan. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know? And I went over there with the idea in mind that I might whoop his ass. But he immediately just like went into crazy mode. And I stood up, and as soon as I stood up, he reached in his back pocket and pulled out a knife and told me he'd cut my fucking throat. And I'm just like, dude, I'm your fucking brother. And you're threatening to kill me. What the hell is wrong with you? And I just left. I'm telling you, dude, when you look crazy in the eye, I don't know. When you know you're up against people with no rules, that's why if you're ever out in public, like there are times that you're gonna, eat your pride. But nowadays, you don't know. I mean, people are just crazy, dude. You're just better off avoiding a fight. Then if you look at like, the vax and whatnot, uh, blood clots and shit are becoming more and more common because of stuff like that. You slap somebody upside the head and it pops their aneurysm, then you're in fucking jail for the rest of your life. All because you didn't want to look stupid in front of your girlfriend or your wife or whatever. So what I'm saying is, almost nothing is worth the trouble. Unless they're like straight up, they got your wife in a headlock or they slap your wife, you're best to just walk on down the road because you don't know what kind of crazy you're up against. And I say that from experience because I got some family members that are fucking buck wild. All right, so let's get going on the tech background. We pepper this up. To this day, I still do that little the wild storm when you model. I guess Art Adams invented it. Do that little snaky thing, then you do the little tick marks in it. Oops. Still, still looks cool. Still works. Check over here. All right. Like I often think, like, how would my generation have handled having the internet like we do nowadays, right? Like YouTube and TikTok and all that. because we were savages back whenever I was in high school. I feel like online bullying leading to suicide would be a lot more common if you just take my generation in high school and just like all of a sudden one day, boom, you got the internet. You don't know what it is or anything. You take a week to figure it out. Like within a week, dude, we would have it would have been bad. It would have been really bad. So I would have been on a TV show like that, or they'd have made a show about like the one girl that tricked her boyfriend into suicide or talked him into it. Said do it. It was always like a the process. You get bullied, then finally you get tired of being bullied, and then you stand up for yourself. It feels good, and then you become the bully. And that was just like that's how it was. I look back now and honestly I cringe thinking about it. Just like I don't get as much embarrassed about like stuff back then that would have been embarrassing, right? Like if I got a piece of dandruff in my mustache or something like that, in high school that would be like the end of the world. I look back now and think about anytime I was like a little asshole trying to bully some other poor sap. I mean, I got bullied all the way up until I guess midway through ninth grade. And stood up for myself, and it. you hear that online, or just a lesson growing up. Stand up to the bully, and they'll stop bullying you. I swear to God, it really is that simple. Bully don't want the bully don't want no smoke, bro. He wants to just show up and slap you around and be done with it. He don't want to wrestle none. Yeah, I'd have been sent to the ranch for sure. Yes, my generation is why they developed anti-bullying. What's funny is I did like art for this bully-free handbook. It was I'm sure there are like obviously there are multiple anti-bullying organizations, but this is like one that was in 3 or 4 states. Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, and I guess Ohio a little bit. Bully-free. There's like a little handbook about bullying. I ended up doing the art on that. I did it kind of like Diary of a Wimpy Kid style. Yeah, so the kid was an asshole for a while. And if anybody that assumes any sort of power, dude, it's just hard not to become the bully. Like I even did it, early in my comic book, being networked in with some of the bigger names there for a bit. Um, you end up wanting to be a little gatekeeper, dude. Like all comics is networking, social climbing, just being little snakes and bullies and gatekeepers. It's really unfortunate, but it's not just comics though. It's kind of the nature of the world. There's there's hierarchy in nature. I don't know what to tell you. But I mean, you guys saw like, once the industry got enough women in it, they immediately banded together and became like the number one bullying force out there, right? And costing people jobs. You know, you, you ask a girl out, then the next thing you know, she's writing up a hit piece that you tried to drug her and rape her, and then she gets the sympathy points and a job promotion kind of thing. It's just like power corrupts, really does. It's wild. But for real, between me and you, it's hard to be a good person. It's hard to not be an asshole. Wielding bullying type power, it feels good in a way. It's so stupid. So I think we should all struggle to be better people. What do you think? What do you think, guys? I feel like y'all are wanting to beat me up right now. Y'all want to beat me up right now? I'm just streaming solo, just trying to make an entertaining show. I don't even know. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's obvious a lot of these people have no business being in comic books. There's no like real true love for the medium. Yeah, that's one of the things John talked about whenever we had our early conversations. He's like, I need to know that, he's like, I burn for this. I got desire for this. Like he loves comics, right? And obviously I do too. I mean, I wouldn't have stuck through it as long as I did, being broke as long as I was. I mean, I went a half a year with no money coming in. And I finally had to give up and get the day job, but that was back in 2016. Well, that shit was hard, dude. You work your whole life, your career's working up, your art's getting better, and then overnight, the industry that had worked one way for 50 years changed overnight. And all of a sudden, I'm blacklisted because I voted for Donald Trump. It's just like super weird, but wouldn't change it for the world. I like where I'm at now, you know. And let's say I don't get any more work from John, I'll just go get a part-time job, but I'm definitely going to keep drawing. I feel like the model is there, the audience is there. So I could go work a part-time job and put out 2 or 3 books a year and make a pretty good living. Because you really only need to convince, 500 people to make pretty good money. And if you can convince 1,000 people, you're making, really good money. So then it's all about the work. And, you got that guy taking over DC now, but man, would it be wise for somebody like Ethan to go back and work for DC if they wanted him? I don't know. I don't think so, right? I mean, he's a lot better off here. For a streaming deal. Now, I got an agreement with John. I'm going to keep working with him as long as he'll have me. It's just easier, than me having to go out and hustle. I mean, at some point, it's going to run its course, right? I'm sure one of us will piss one or the other off, you know, because that's just the nature of how creative stuff works. You know, I'll get fed up and be like, I think I can do this on my own. But I feel like that's a ways away. But all creative people eventually want to spread their wings. You know, kind of like what John did. Um, Godlike is all on his own, right? Without Mark, so to speak. He just wanted to do his all his own thing. Nothing wrong with that. It's nothing personal against Mark or any of that. You know, obviously him and Mark still work together, but yeah, it is. Everything is focused around religion and politics now. Kind of forced into it, right? Like, here's what's weird about me, right? I watch the politics and that stuff all day long, and I love it, right? But when I get online and I see people talking about it, comic book people, our people, you know, the comics gay people, even I'm like, ugh, you know, can we not? I'd rather not, but it's just you got to look at where we're at in time, and if we don't fight, we're going to get overran by people that do not have our best interest in mind, do not have, you know, what you grew up with, your morals and ethics that you grew up with. They don't have those at the forefront in their mind. So you're kind of your hand is forced by the nature of the environment. But even still, you don't have to talk about it. But, you know, so like at the end of 2020, right? After I almost stroke out, I watched the election, you know, and a lot of people think it was some shady shit going on. In hindsight, it looks like they just installed the machinery, so to speak, to do the ballot harvesting. So it became about ballots, not votes. And I think, you know, the case would be made that it was technically legal. Our side got caught with their pants down because they didn't realize that the game had changed, right? Don't hate the player, hate the game. And, you know, this last season, political season, really sent that home like, well, this is what you got to do. So I expect the next 2 years is going to, politics are going to be like kind of completely different than they were. It's going to be less debate, right? Because this last cycle, the majority of Dems refused to debate. So it's all about getting workers on the ground to go around and collect ballots. So maybe that'll cool the temperature in the room. So I had a point I was heading toward, but I got lost. Other than just, you know, oh yeah. So in 2020, at the end of that, after the election, I'm like, okay, I'm fucking done now, right? This shit isn't good for my health. More so, it's a time drain. And I was like, I'm gonna focus on comic books again, right? I got this small window. COVID's still going on. You know, I'd gotten laid off from my job at the print shop. So why not draw, right? So I have to stay home. I'm getting unemployment. Why not draw? So I'm gonna see what I can't make happen. So I sent my portfolio to John and your boy Zach. John responded. And here I am, right? So I divested from politics, and immediately all that energy channeled into drawing comic books, and I got back into comics, you know, getting paid my best page rate with that energy that politics was siphoning off of me. And then those motherfuckers dragged me right back in with the vax mandate bullshit. You can't tune it out and turn it off for 5 fucking minutes without them trying to pull some shit. So yeah, it fucking sucks that politics is in sports and entertainment and comics. But going back to that the PTEC software and all that, and all that is like rolled in with the smart meters. These rich people, they see you as cattle. They truly, truly do. And they want full spectrum dominance over you. They want you sterile workers that are that are automatons for the state. And if you let your guard down for 2 seconds, they're trying to fucking come in your house and jab you with a needle. And that's where we're at. And it fucking sucks, right? How much easier would life be if I could just focus on drawing comic books, having fun, selling? I like superheroes, my genre, right? That's what I really like. If I didn't draw superheroes, it'd probably be horror. But the the traditional American superhero is my jam. That's what I'm into. But no, I'm forced to draw. I'm trying to talk about, wiping my butt. And then everything like devolves into talking about politics. It's pretty awful, guys. Kind of want to pour some ice in a bath and go take an ice cold bath right now. Lecture, lecture. Yeah, the art of storytelling is a lost art now. I'm telling you, bros, my book, when I get to it, it's gonna be one of those fucking highbrow books. I got plans. It's gonna be poured over. It's gonna be completely thought out. No, nothing is gonna be off the cuff on the fly. I'm gonna have all kinds of symbolism and stuff built. And all the stuff that we do now that is surface level politics, that's gonna be in there, but it's gonna be esoteric and subtext. The bulk of the story is just gonna focus on like a fun, scary adventure of a kid on Mars. Now, I talked about it some in the earlier streams whenever I was piddling around with some of the concept art for it and all that. Obviously it's going to be a lot of me and my worldview in it, but I want to make sure nothing about it is heavy-handed. I want it. I want the people on the left and right to want to read it or to read it and enjoy it without feeling like they're getting preached at. And I think if done right, I can I can pull people on the fringe back toward normalcy if I do that. So that's my hope. I'm sure, if it I got real high plans for it as far as publishing it. I wouldn't mind trying to get it into, the bigger retail chains. Because it's going to be painted. I'm going to paint it. I don't know. I got dreams of it being like Harry Potter big. Like I want kids to read it. and be like, I want to be that. I don't want to be some goofy ass TikTok star. I want to be the first kid on Mars. I want to be somebody. I want to make something in my life. So that's my hope and plans for my book. People doing stuff. People doing productive stuff and not people talking. So this is my second stream of the week, third if I count Phil's. So now that I'm done with the layouts, I'm gonna try to be a little more consistent in streaming. I like doing this. I don't mind doing it solo. Some days are better than others doing it solo. Like today, pretty good, right? I'm able to keep talking and keep you guys occupied, engage with the chat here a little bit. But some days the multitasking is not there. But with layouts being done, I can draw and talk all day because of I used to be in a bunch of or hang out on Skype all day long with people, and we would draw and talk all day. So it's a skill I have. I hadn't done it in so long. You know, 2016 was the last time that I was hot and heavy with a Skype crew, drawing and talking all day. Get a lot of work done. It's actually kind of more productive than just me sitting because as I sit and draw, I'm tempted to go, well, let's see what the fuck's going on Twitter, right? And while I'm trying to just decompress for look away, I got to look away from the page for 5 minutes, regroup fill up my guff, you know what I mean? So I can go attack the page again. That way you make sure you're seeing it. And then, one check of Twitter is a fucking 30-minute rabbit hole where I'm reading about some dipshit that blew up crypto coins. So here we go. I'm trying it again. I'm not gonna look at politics all day long and draw all day long. It's gonna be just drawing all day long, and I'm either gonna stream or I'm gonna listen to music. Right? That's the theory. That's what I'm wanting to do, and hopefully they won't fucking come try to drug me with some experimental vaccine. But let's just hope. Last time I made it 3 months before they were trying to kill me. Because, like, truly, truly, at the end of the day, that's what they fear. They fear people like me getting to work, creating content to send the culture the other way, you know, non-victim. That's my story is, you know, the the collectivism in my story, the collectivism comes from family, not the state. And the mode of thinking is, the individual overcoming the odds. If we can get that mindset going, we're going to be A-O fucking K. And it's just going to take people like me producing work, producing the culture to do that. What do you guys think? You think they're going to be able to rope me back in? Am I going to be mentally tough enough to withstand the pressures of looking at politics for a year and a half until it gets like closer to election time? Like, even then, right? Let's say I make it to 2024 and I'm trying to still keep focus working. What value is it that I'm bringing to the table even caring about it. I know how I'm going to vote. It's real simple. So I truly would be better off just to keep working. So I got to fight it. What do you think, guys? Do I sound crazy? You guys struggle with that same stuff? I feel like everybody struggles with it. Something you think a lot about too. You stay true to the vision, or do you omit certain things so it's more for a general audience, but the core is still the same? Yeah. I think you can hide it in there, right? But that's where you got to like take your time and really curate this stuff and really spend a lot of time hiding it in there. If you look at Stanley Kubrick movies, that's the route right there. That's the answer. Have it all in there as symbolism. Like all those good directors, I sound like a broken record. I bring this up every time I kind of get on the esoteric stuff. But, you know, whether you like or don't like Christopher Nolan, that dude he's filming 2 to 3 movies at one time. And what I mean by that is it's one movie, but he's got it layered with so much stuff that if you're looking for it, you're watching a totally different movie than the average Joe is. And I'd like to do that with my comic. That's what Alan Moore does. That's why he's so good. Like even people that don't know they're getting more, that the base story is good enough, but he's still able to bring those common symbols in, and they're built into us, right? A lot of that symbolism is built into us. So whether you're educated enough on that stuff or not, you're still picking it up quite a bit. All right, let's shade this Papa Chama. 1 second. I'm back. Oh yeah, yeah. Nudity is definitely it's not the killer that it used to be, right? Because no nudity, if you're doing like a wholesome story and you don't put nudity in it, you're there's a little bit of preaching to the choir, but also, I mean, at least are you making stuff for kids, right? Like my book's gonna be definitely it's gonna be good for kids. So my book's definitely not gonna have any nudity in it. So I guess my um, dilemma would be how much violence to show, right? But if you look at somebody like M. Night Shyamalan or those guys, sometimes less is more. You know, the viewer's mind will run wild. I like the way Alan Moore handles his haters, though. He talks down to his haters. He lets them know that you're just not on my level. He's like, what's worse? Somebody getting their head blown off or somebody getting raped? Well, clearly, death is way worse than rape. So he basically says, "Shut the fuck up." You guys would be shocked at how little I read comics. Tell you what, though, I'll be glad to get the old tax man paid off here at the end of the year. I got a $9,000 tax bill. I've mentioned this before from my previous uh, 10, 11 years in the industry, right? Like once you get behind on bills, then you're just like, because in comics, paychecks are not steady, bro. Let me tell you, they are just not steady. Even Marvel and DC, you know, like I said, I was networked in with some bigger names in the industry there for a while. Um, Inkers really get the shit end of the stick. You know, they kind of get paid whenever they get paid. And if they bitch about it, well, there's always another inker there ready to take your spot. But yeah, you guys would be shocked at how little comics I read. But that being said, next year I kind of want. I've been thinking about it, right? I've been doing the thing with Phil where I draw the character while we have guests on, and that's my little way of giving back to the community right now because all my money is going toward taxes. So I'm not really backing the books like I should be. But next year, I'm gonna make sure I'm backing like a lot of books. One, it's what you should do, and two, it's what I want to do, and I think I might try to build a show around it, similar to what Phil and I do. Only it'll be me drawing and talking, and I'll probably do a more finished drawing. I'd like to have the show be like once or twice a week, and I do a full on, 4 or 5 hours in a drawing, and I could get something that they can use to publish that would work as almost a variant cover or whatever. Because I draw pretty fast when I put my mind to it. When I got full mojo, dude, I'm pretty fast and pretty unstoppable. The Wesley Snipes, the Willie Nelson. No, the thing is to don't fear the IRS. Um, as long as you're not trying to scam them, you don't have anything to worry about. They'll work with you. And I'm not trying to scam them. I'm not trying to hide any shit. I just simply got behind on bills, didn't pay taxes, then it kind of fucking snowballs and becomes its own thing. But we good. I'll be back in Uncle Sam's good graces again. They'll be able to. I hope my 9,000 goes straight to the Ukraine. Zelensky looks like he needs it. Just kidding. Fuck that guy. Yeah, I just do uh, CG license plates from prison. Uh, I can hear Ethan now in his New Jersey northern voice trying to sell some Cyber Frog license plates that I made in prison. We could change grab an oar to grab a hammer. Hammer out these plates. Get that background in there looking pretty righteous. Oh, another thing, if these if the lettering doesn't work after it's inked, Eric will just do the lettering himself, and I'm sure he can fit something in there that'll look cool. I'm not 100% sold on it myself. No, Jimmy is inking digitally. I know, right? I'll have to trade my ramen noodles for an extra set of gloves so I don't hurt my delicate hands. Hey, no joke, bros. The kid has model hands. My hands are perfect. I don't have those short little fingernails. I don't have those super long, like horse hoof fingernails. I got them perfect hands, dude. Look at that. Mm, beautiful. No busted up cuticles. Should have been a hand model. I have an OnlyFans page where I do sexy stuff with my hands. You think that'd go over well? Let's talk about this. So who's got the? We know. Look, it's settled, bro. Right here, best looking hands in Comicsgate all day long, all day long. Powerful fist. Look at that ratio, bro. Oh, get them muscles on top, dude. That would crush a face right there. But the girls want to hold my hand. You know what I'm saying? So who's got the ugliest hands in Comicsgate? Let's figure that out. Let's start today. You guys start paying attention on stream. Who's got them gnarly, gnarly busted hands? We got to find out. This could be our meme, guys. This could be the we got the Malin militia. We got the comic guy uh, hand beauty pageant. You guys can be the judges. I'm thinking this might be a terrible idea. We'll go with it right now. It feels like it might also be really funny. The Lotion Legion only hands account. Yeah, I like it. Stop dropping. Anytime you see somebody's hands in a stream you're watching, be sure to mention my name. Be like, oh, I saw your hands. They're not the comic guy's hands, but they're all right. I've had this finger here jammed so many times playing basketball that anytime I drink too much liquor and eat too many sweets, I get the gout. And it swole up last year. And once it swells, the swelling won't go out of it. I had to go get my fucking ring cut off my finger. My hand didn't look too good then, bros. I had them club fingers. But we're back. We're back in business. If I give the double, that's my version of blue steel right there. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, cartoon kayfabe that these women were. Well, I won't keep. I want to keep this family friendly right now, guys. There's enough edgy content on the internet. I'm not gonna make dirty jokes. No more dirty jokes, guys. Right? We're high class here. Real high class. women. Yeah, I remember uh, back in the day. Like I was so naive to all this shit, bros. You're not gonna believe me when I tell you this. For the first 34 years of my life, the kid was just an angel. Well, except for the bullying in high school, but I was an angel. And I looked at porn like maybe once or twice a year, dude. I had like the this incredible guilt looking at that shit. Um, where was I going? I was going somewhere with this. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I remember Stegman when him and I used to hang out. He listened to all kinds of comedy podcasts and stuff. So he would hear about all this crazy shit. Like there was this one podcast where they would just type in a random topic or random item. And this was back when YouTube was like peak YouTube was fucking incredible, Bruce. Everybody knows that. They've ruined it now. And he sent me this one dude. It didn't show any his butt or anything, but he was like putting uh whipped cream up his butt. Anyway. Uh, then one time he sent me this cartoon, and I had literally no idea about the furries or the bronies or any of that. Bro, the kid's mind was blown. He sent me this fucking super weird My Little Pony porn site. I am 100% convinced that the whole furry thing is like Joe Camel trying to get kids to smoke cigarettes. I mean, dude, this shit is the mega perverts of the world. I can't believe this shit's legal. Seriously. Like I know back in the 70s you had the Mickey Mouse, like the weirdo Mickey Mouse Disney porn. I feel like I feel like that was different, but I don't know. Maybe thinking about it now, it probably wasn't. There's probably weirdos back then that got off on. It felt like it was a ha ha novelty, making fun of the man. Like, oh, here I'm gonna take your most precious creation and shit all over it because you're, commercialized or whatever. Whatever the fuck they think, whatever the counterculture was back in the 70s. But the shit they got going on now with the furries and the bronies and all that stuff, these motherfuckers are not right in the head, dude. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, no, no, everybody's got their kinks. Everybody's no, 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 no. These people are fucking super weird, and you can't tell me they're not out there trying to scam up some fucking trick some kids into some shit, dude. Super weird. So anyway, don't put whipped cream up your butt. Not good for you. Man, if I wanted to make this show or drawing like family friendly, so anybody that comes across this would be able to watch it. Like, there's just no way, dude. You cannot draw and go stream of consciousness talking without talking about like off-topic shit that is going to turn some people off. Just gotta accept it. The kid has seen too much evil out there, bro. It's too much evil. Yeah, if these bronies had been bullied, dude, in my high school, if you're a 16-year-old dude and you get caught watching My Little Pony and playing with some little My Little Pony ponies, mm-mm, there ain't no coming back from that. You'd have had a nickname and you'd have had to join the military to escape. All right, bros, I think I've done enough damage to my career today. I've ran off all the Kim Jong Gi subscribers I got. Oh, this guy likes Kim Jong Gi. He's breaking down how to draw like him. Tunes into the next episode. We're talking about wiping our butts. Anyway, yeah. All right, dudes. I gotta add a figure in back here, and then that's done, and then this page is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off and get to work. Sitting down over there. I've stood long enough. Standing and drawing, I'm getting my stamina back. So much healthier standing and drawing. Burn more calories. Lower back doesn't hurt. Yeah, I mentioned that I was like a mega athlete, right? Dude, back when I was in peak basketball shape, this storm blew in. I was uptown, and one of the clothing stores, I think it was Maurice's. It wasn't Maurice's. It was Goodies. I think that. Anyway, they had just message retracted. Gordon, good brother, what are you doing? Can't say something and then take it back. Um, yeah. Anyway, so a storm blew in, and dude, this thing came out of nowhere. And these women had pulled like a bunch of racks of clothes outside for a sale, and the wind picked up and it grabbed this rack of shirts and started blowing it across the parking lot. Well, you know how this story ends. It was like 60-mile-per-hour winds. This coat rack was barreling across the parking lot, heading straight toward a PT Cruiser. Some poor sap was about to get his car wrecked, and the kid ran full speed. Bros, I'm telling you, I look like a fucking gazelle out there. I chased it down right before it hit the PT Cruiser, and we're talking all the way across the parking lot. Like, picture the average Walmart parking lot. I ran about a quarter of the way across one, chasing this clothing rack. And you know what those women said to me? Thanks. Like, saved you from insurance payout on a PT Cruiser. I should have at least gotten a free T-shirt out of it. It kind of makes me mad that I was as athletic as I was, and that I was heroic as I was to even take on that task of chasing it down. You know, that's the world we live in, dude. Like real heroes, like I was that day, you just don't get appreciated. You know, just don't get appreciated. So I'll never try to save the world again, ever. Or clothes. You know, I'll never try to save some clothes from hitting a car again. Just not worth it, bros. How many of you are legends in your own mind like I am? I feel like you kind of got to operate that way, right? Like you're the star of the play. Well, if not, try it out sometimes. In my mind, I'm bigger than Johnny Depp, right? Johnny Depp's nothing compared to me in my own mind. Superman never saved anyone for a free t-shirt. Maybe, maybe not. That's the first thing he did, dude. He was ripping off his clothes trying to give people free suits. He's there, that's there. It's top of his belt. Man, he's just not gonna really show up there. He's covered up. Oh well, he's there, trust me. Yeah, you gotta believe in yourself when nobody else does. That's I'm telling you, that's gonna be the takeaway of my book, dude. My book is gonna pump people up. For the trailer, when I make the trailer for my book, I'm gonna cut in that clip of Jesse Jackson saying, "Repeat after me. I am somebody." Maybe Jesse Jackson will help me push my book. That'd open up a whole new market right there. What do you think? I'm gonna get Elon Musk to tweet my book. And by the way, guys, when I say that, like I know I said like everything is a joke most of the time. I'm like 100% serious on that. My goal is to get Elon to tweet out my book because I'm gonna promote it like that. I want to be the first book on Mars. I'm telling you, judging by how this dude is on Twitter, I think I'll be able to pull it off, dudes. I think I will. But it's going to take all of us. It's going to take the CG community to flood his messages to get him to check this book out. I'm going to send him a free copy. He's going to read it. He's going to be like, yeah, this is what it's about. And any astronaut that is going to Mars, my book is going to be required reading. Because why? Engineering isn't what's going to get us to Mars, it's the human spirit. Amen. All right, guys, I'm done. Phil just showed back up. Sorry, Phil. I got to go. Later, dudes.